What's up? It's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video, and today I'm filming my bookish faves. So this is just a variety of bookish things over the past couple years that I found to be my favorite things, and then at the end I'm gonna have a segment of like random preferences, like this or that type of thing, and answering a couple questions I've gotten through DMs about like how I read and whatever. Xavier's out running an errand and I was like, let me just film this real quick. I wasn't supposed to film this till the end of the month, but I decided to get it out of the way. I have the note in my phone. The first thing I want to talk about is book of the month. This is not sponsored. I know this is how sponsored videos usually start. I freaking wish. Like, please petition for book of the month to sponsor Jan, question mark, please, because that would be a dream. But yeah, book of the month, I subscribed December of last year, so 2019. I haven't skipped a month ever since. I love them so much. You get new hardback releases for $14.99 a month, and then you can add on for $9.99, and it is everything. I stan this book service so much. Like, if I could work for this company, I swear to God I would. But they're based in New York and I'm in the Midwest. Then I want to talk about my favorite bookmarks, because I'm starting a collection and it's becoming a little bit unhealthy, but you know, I've seen worse. We're gonna start with, this is what started it all, honestly. Like, I used to use random pieces of paper all the time, and then this happened. Xavier got me this for my birthday last year, and it's like, I don't know if this is real leather, but he got it off of Etsy, and it's like a leathery bookmark, and it has my name. It's so cute. I also want to talk about a small bookmark business called A Stranger Dream. She sells horror bookmarks. So I bought, oh wait, I bought a fourth one. So I bought 4 as soon as I discovered her because I could not wait. And then she had a clearance sale and I was like, oh my god. So I have this poison apple one, and it's like really good quality cardboard too, and it comes with a little tassel. It's a little extra to get a tassel on them, but I think it's worth it. So yeah, this cute. Also, don't mind my nails, I gotta redo them. This skeleton hand one, fortune teller one, come on, there we go. So yeah, it says 2020 is not your year in her little crystal ball, and I like how the back doesn't say anything, so you can just like flip it over if it's not 2020 anymore, you know? AKA now. I got it in like December, so. And then this one that says my TBR finally killed me. I thought it was so cute. Okay, and then I also have a book sleeve that says bury me next to my TBR. That's so cute. But the book sleeve I want to talk about that's my favorite is this coffee one with all the cute little lattes, and then there's a pocket. The inside is maroon. This is by Happy Go Lovely Sleeves. The woman who runs it is Rachel, and she's just so sweet. I follow her on Instagram. She just like works her butt off. She is like the epitome of boss babe, I swear to God. She has so many cute prints. She has an Etsy shop. Love this so much. And book sleeves changed my life last year. Next thing I want to talk about are my favorite secondhand bookstores. So I'll insert some footage of Vaughn's. This bookstore is on Purdue's campus, and it has like this basement with all the used books, and there's literally, it's floor to ceiling, books on books on books, and Xavier and I go there all the time, and we go there whenever we visit. It's just such a vibe in there, you know? And then my other favorite store, it has developed in the past few months, Half Price Books. I discovered them like years and years and years ago, but I wouldn't go too often until now. We go like once a week. And then I want to talk about my all-time favorite books. I didn't pull them out. Why didn't I do that? First of all, Looking for Alaska, of course. If you know me, you know you know. This one's from Xavier, the deluxe edition. He got it for me for Christmas. And then I have, this was my first copy ever. I won it at a book review contest at my local library like in 2014 or something. Then I have the French edition. And then I have the little mini penguin edition. But yeah, that's one of them. And then my other favorite, do I even need to say it? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is a YouTube darling, and it popped off, and if you don't know what it is, I don't know where you've been, but she is beauty, she is grace. We love her. She's everything. I want to get the constellation tattooed, like, love her. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid is also one of my like top favorite authors. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is on my nightstand right now. Those 2 books are my favorite as well. And then also, lastly, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I read this last fall. It was just so satisfying to get through such a big book, and I read it physically, and I didn't skim anything. It was a really good time reading this book. Like, I tabbed so much on it. I just had so much fun reading this, and I'm glad I know what it's about now because people always talk about it, especially in the fall. But yeah, those are my all-time favorite books, in case you were wondering. The last physical item I have here are my favorite mugs, because that's bookish, right? The mugs aren't bookish. I do have one that says, "Shh, I'm reading." Couldn't find it, but this is one of my favorites. The light is just so bad right now. It says, "Drink up, witches," and then inside it says, "You've been poisoned," and I absolutely love it. And then I have this one that's a glass one, like a clear mug, and it says "So many feelings" on the front, and I'm a Cancer, so like this is me in a mug. And then lastly, I have this Mayday Parade one that Xavier got me for Christmas, and it's just the perfect little, I forgot what these are called, like camper mugs? Fireside mugs? I don't remember what they're called, but it's just a cute little graphic and Mayday Parade, and it's like my favorite band of all time, and I just thought it was the most thoughtful gift ever. And then the only podcast I listen to is of course a bookish one. It's called the Currently Reading Podcast. There are these moms who host this podcast, and they just have this formula for every episode. They like talk about their bookish moments of the week. They like deep dive into a specific topic. They have like book recs at the end, and sometimes they have guest speakers. It's just so fun to listen to them. And then they also like recommend a lot of kids books because their kids are obviously readers too, because that's how they raise them. It's the only podcast I listen to, like I said, and I absolutely love it. I also want to mention my favorite booktubers. So the first booktuber that I think I've ever watched was Emma Books. Love her, still watch her. I also want to mention Books with Chloe. She's Australian and she's also part Korean. Her aesthetic is everything. Her vibe, monochromatic. We have the same taste in a lot of things. And I love her Australian accent, not even gonna lie. Olivia Reads a Latte and Gabby Reads, of course. I love both of them oh so dearly. They're just my go-tos. They have so many vlogs, so many videos, so I just watch them whenever I need something fun to watch, honestly, and I know that I'll love their videos no matter what. And then Katie Colson, met her last year, met her in December in person. When I went down to Atlanta, we met up in person, and she is just my favorite. We talk like all the time about books, and she's just so funny. Her personality is everything. I'll have all these people linked. She popped off during Summerween, and that's how I discovered her, and now she is like growing, and I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy to watch her channel grow. I feel so honored when she mentions me in her videos, and so glad I met her in person too. She's just a pocket full of sunshine. I love her. Another pocket full of sunshine is Alexandra Roslin. She's always so perky and bubbly, and she's so funny. Especially her baking segments, they're just so funny. Noelle Gallagher, love her too. I feel like she came out of nowhere last year, and then now she has over 100k subscribers, so love that for her. Chelsea Darling Reads. She just came back after a little mini 6-month break, and I'm so glad she's back. She does a Reading the Rainbow series on her channel. I told her that I want to do, because I have so many blue books especially, I want to just read through my shelves, so I told her that I want to possibly do some as well, so she was like, I would definitely watch them, and I was like, she's like, please do them because I'm not gonna make one for a while and I want to watch them. Lastly, I want to mention Kevin from Irish Reader. Oh my god, we stan him. He's so funny. I love his reading for the first time videos. I read Twilight for the first time and stuff like that, and it inspired me to want to do like reading Pride and Prejudice for the first time, or the Hunger Games series for the first time. I might do that this year too. I don't know, we'll see. Speaking of like booktubers inspiring my videos, Gabby Reads, she made 2 videos about books that made her cry. I also told her that I'm planning on doing a books that made Gabby Reads cry video next month. I have the books for them. I found them all at Half Price Books, all the ones that I wanted to read from her list, so excited for that one because I need a good cry in my life but like about something like books and not real life problems that will actually damage my mental health. Okay, next is favorite coffee shops. So I keep a list of all the coffee shops I go to in every city that I travel to or whatever. Not that I travel a lot, but like on road trips and stuff, and when I visit my dad in California, and like whenever I moved to Indiana and moved back to Illinois, all that stuff. So I have, hold on, I'm getting a call. I think it's from my pharmacy. Never mind, it was spam. I have Alfred and Bean. So those 2 are both in California. All of these are just so aesthetically pleasing, or it was my go-to whenever I lived in those places, or their coffee's just good. Brew Point is in Elmhurst, Illinois. I used to go there all the time in high school and like my first couple years of when I went to community college, so it has a special place in my heart. Cafe Literato is like by Purdue. I used to go there all the time when I went to Purdue. I love their iced Samoa latte, like Samoa like as in the Girl Scout cookies in a latte. It was divine. It was chef's kiss divine. I loved it. And lastly, I want to mention Dry Bones Mud House, which is in Indy. Their logo is like a skull. The dude was so nice, and oh, and they had like checkers, and it was just such a nice little like lounging area. It was good. I love that place. I loved all these places. Obviously, that's why it's in this video, Jan. Oh my god. We're almost done. Bookish movies and shows. So I only listed 3 for this one because I couldn't think of any, but I wanted to mention You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks, and I forgot the girl's name, but they both own bookshops. The guy owns like a big corporate bookshop, like a Barnes & Noble, I forgot what it's called, and then the girl owns the bookshop around the corner, or the shop around the corner or something like that, and it's like a local bookstore, and then they're like rivals, and it's a hate to love, and it's such a good movie. And then Little Women, I just read part 1 of Little Women last month. I really need to read part 2 because I thought I'd be satisfied with part 1, but part 2 was also in the movie, so I need to read the whole thing. But I love the 2019 version with Emma Watson and all those people, and I've seen it twice. I have the DVD. Xavier liked it too. I saw it in theaters with my friend Haley. It's just such a feel-good movie, and it's so heartwarming, especially if you're into books. Jo is just such a feminist and so ahead of her time. Little Women, A+. And then the show Normal People, based on the book by Sally Rooney. The show is phenomenal. It's exquisite. The book, physically reading it, couldn't get into it, but the audiobook is also phenomenal because it's an Irish author, so the accent like really brings you back into the show. So the show allows you to put faces to names, so it makes it easier to visualize everything, but like when I read it physically, it just like wasn't working for me, and I've heard that from a lot of people. So those are the 3 bookish movies and shows. Now we're gonna get into my random preferences. So paperback or hardback? Paperback for sure. I prefer reading physically, but I'm slowly trying to get used to listening to audiobooks and reading ebooks because of Libby, and I'm trying to minimize my book buying this year. I prefer to read the book first before the movie. There are a few exceptions. I mean, Little Women, I watched the movie first. Normal People, like I said, watched the show first. But other movies, like last summer, I read Where'd You Go, Bernadette after watching the movie, and it ruins my liking for the book, is basically what I'm saying. Because I know what happens, and there's no thrill. There's no visual adaptations that you're like looking forward to. I don't like dog-earing books. Unless they're like from the library and I can't find a bookmark or anything, then yeah, just really quickly I will like slightly, like the littlest dog ear. But then I see those people who like freaking take the page and like dog ear it from corner to corner, and I'm like, what are you doing? I don't like underlining. I prefer highlighting or tabbing. I started tabbing books last year, and people have messaged me asking if I have a color coding system for my tabs, and the answer is no. I just try to match the colors to like the book's aesthetic or the cover. So like, let's say, so for Addie LaRue, I use metallic tabs. Yeah, so they're like gold and silver. They match the cover. I'm reading The Wife Upstairs right now by Rachel Hawkins, and I'm using blue and pink tabs. In terms of like what I tab, it varies. It varies with the book. It depends, like, because I'm not gonna tab like funny parts in like a nonfiction book about racism, you know what I mean? If a book's not supposed to be funny, I don't tab the funny parts. If it's not a romance, I don't tab romantic parts. I usually tab good writing / like quotes I relate to. Sometimes I tab like crucial moments in the story, funny parts, things I want to remember, and then like in thrillers and like true crime books, I tab the fucked up parts and like the whoa, like holy shit parts. So it really depends is the short answer to that question. I've gotten asked that multiple times actually. And in terms of writing in books, I only write in them sometimes. Depends how long I've had the book, what condition the book's in, if I've read the book before, things like that. Okay, and then the last thing I'm gonna talk about is something I've been asked many times. So last year I read 147 books, and I would post each one on my Instagram story every time I finish it, and people keep messaging me like, how do you read so damn fast? I always tell people I just prioritize reading. Like I read as soon as I open my eyes in the morning. I read before I go to bed. I read when I'm standing in line somewhere. I bring a book everywhere. That's another tip. I bring a book wherever I go. I just put it in one of my book sleeves and I throw it in my purse. That's why my purse is so huge and heavy all the time, because I always bring a book. And if I'm like awkwardly standing in line and like don't want to pull out a physical book, I have the app Libby. So it's like through my library, and then it has ebooks, and or if I have my headphones, I'll put an audiobook in, like while I'm grocery shopping or whatever else, driving somewhere, I'll listen to an audiobook. My last tip is using the bookmark. I used to do this when I was younger all the time, but I recently started doing it more and more. But like using the bookmark and going through line by line, so like your mind doesn't get distracted by the whole page, so you're just like isolating line by line. There's like scientific evidence that it makes you read faster, so when I heard that, I started doing it and it actually works. That's that. I hope some of this was helpful for you. I hope you support some of the small businesses I mentioned. I do have a referral link for book of the month, so I'll have that down below. I have my social media and everything, Goodreads, whatever, down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a great day. Stay safe and stay positive always, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.